Alright, y'all. So I've been out for about a month. Excuse my voice. I've been sick. Now, today's topic is gonna be about police brutality. My stance on should we defund the police or not. Now, um, everybody that's came from my numerous other channels, whether I've been kicked out or they banned me off of those platforms, anybody that's came from those platforms have known that I've been a big supporter of police, but I was also falsely arrested. Now, I want to talk about how that impacted my life, how it impacts how I look at police, and I also want to go over a couple of cases here. All right. Now, as far as me and how it impacted me personally, it played a big part in my life. I spent time in jail. Had to go to numerous court cases. And after 2 years, it was finally dropped, and it should have been dropped. It should never happen because they never had the evidence for it to happen, anyways. All right. Now, that leads me to my next point. Obviously, I met bad cops. I've met cops that are a-holes. All right. I've also met cops that have been nice to me. Now, that being said, nice and all is fine, but are you doing your job? And by are you doing your job, what I mean is if you see a cop that's falsely arresting someone, abusing their power, stealing something, violating company policy, violating people's rights, if you allow that to happen, you're just as bad as them because they're not going to stop it. All right? If you don't stop them, they're not going to stop. And there was a case a while back in Florida where a female cop had stopped a male cop from abusing a black male, and he actually assaulted her. Which leads me to my next point. A lot of times I hear, what only happens to black people, or it don't happen to white people. White people don't get falsely arrested. They don't get abused. All right. Well, that is BS. All right. It happens to every race. Black, white, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, whatever race you want to say, it happens to everybody, male and female. All right. Now, are some cases more graphic than others? Yes. Are some cases more horrific than others? Yes. Alright, and I'm going to go over a couple here, and, some of these are debatable, some of these aren't, alright? Michael Brown was a big one, alright? This happened back in 2014. Obviously this was in Ferguson, Missouri. This man had his hands up during a police foot chase. He said, "Don't shoot." Obviously, he was killed. All right. Walter Scott. This one was back in 2015 out of Charleston, South Carolina. He was pulled over for a defective brake light on his car. He was convicted. Ultimately, he was shot and killed. The officer was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years in prison. The family did receive a $6.5 million settlement. Now, everybody has their own opinions about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. We all know, we all watch the videos. That's the topic for another day, alright? Now, like I said, obviously it doesn't happen to just black people. Alright, black or white, if you get falsely arrested, you get out, you're going to get money. Now, that doesn't take away the trauma that you had to go through of getting falsely arrested, getting booked into jail, possibly losing a job. If you were in there for months or years, losing a house, you could have lost family members, lost all your cars. If you have business, you lost your business. Alright, so money doesn't make up for that. And like I said, this happened a while back to me, almost 4 years ago. and every time I see a cop behind me or I pass by a cop, that trauma's still there. That all right, I already got falsely arrested once. What's to stop them from doing it again? And especially having a platform where you're speaking out. Now, one last thing I do want to talk about is when an officer is killed. All right. So obviously, any kind of violence is unacceptable, but when an officer is killed, all right, by a suspect, there is a big memorial for him and all this, and they have all the cop cars and stuff lined up, and they do the escort parade to the funeral home or to the grave site. All right, and that's fine. I really don't have a problem with that. Does it disrupt traffic and everything? Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, I really don't have a problem with that. If they're out there protecting and serving like they're supposed to do, I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with, though, on the other hand, is how the officers get this big escort parade when they're killed in line of duty, but an average citizen who is killed by a police officer doesn't get nothing. They get nothing. All right. Yeah, the family gets money, maybe, but that doesn't bring back a family member, all right, or a friend or a loved one, It doesn't bring them back, all right? So at the end of the day, and again, it all depends on where you live. If you live in New York City, obviously crimes can be higher than somewhere in Nebraska, or if you're in South Carolina, crimes can be higher than somewhere, that doesn't have, I don't know, crime rates, but, every state is different and it varies by your state. But again, do we need to get rid of police officers completely? No. There need to be people out there that are enforcing the law, but, again, if you are, watching a cop abuse somebody or break department rules or policy or whatever, then you're just as bad as them, and I don't want to sit here and say every cop's bad, because like I said, I met some nice cops, but again, nice doesn't mean that you're doing your job, all right? But as far as defunding all police officers completely and getting rid of every police department, no, I don't think that's the right call. But again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, thank y'all for watching, and y'all stay safe out there.